I was a kid, and the agent came up to me from San Francisco, and he said, "I think you're really pretty. I think that you could be a star." Well, I don't even know what that meant at that time. And he said, "But you have to fix your front tooth and grow your eyebrows back, and then come see me when you have done these two things." So that's what I did. And then I started modeling. I started working pretty soon. And I think you asked me what my first job was. I think my first job was with Christy Turlington. And do you know Jill Sorensen?
The name sounds
She was a Swedish model, and we were all girls from Northern California. She actually came over as an au pair. And those poor people, they have this girl come over, think they're going to have this like babysitter, and then she starts modeling. So yeah, definitely. So it was really, really, so that's how it started. We would just, Christy and I would take have you ever been to Northern California?
Yeah, once, Oakland.
Okay, so exactly. So they have the BART train there. So we would get on the BART train and paint our nails and have rollers in our hair. And the businessmen would be like pissed off at us. Like, "We don't want to smell your nail." Like, "You painted your nails." And we're like, "Stop, please," And I started working in San Francisco that way. But Christy went ahead of me. Like, she went to Paris before me. She did things before I did. I went to LA. Like, I went to Los Angeles with a boyfriend, and I started doing commercials and working every single day there. So
what was it like? All right, so give us an idea, because this is what I'm curious about, because I spoke to somebody else who was a model, and she was discovered or she was approached 3 times, 3 different times, and I said, and I think although she modeled, that wasn't something that she was really interested in, so she didn't take it seriously, right? So if somebody comes up to you and says, "Here's a card, we really think you should do this, 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 and this." So how long did it take you to understand that you had a shot?
I think that some people don't, sometimes it's not legitimate. So to your friend's point, a lot of people come up and say, "Oh, do you want to be a model? I can take your picture." And it's not legit. So I think you just see, you research it a bit, you see if it's real. Mine was legitimate, but they also still tried, like at that time, they always try to get girls to go to modeling school. And even then they were like, "Oh, why don't you go to modeling school? Why don't you go to Barbizon?" And I was like, "But I got signed by an agent. Why would I go to modeling school?" And so I see her point. But sometimes I think a lot of women I know, not a lot, a few women I know, even that were in that contest, I thought, "What happened to you? You could have been a model." But to your point, they could have had a boyfriend, or they could have just not taken it seriously. You have to be willing to move. You have to be willing to acclimate to a different environment, because you're not going to stay where you grew up. And, I couldn't have stayed in Northern California and had my career. It wouldn't have been possible. So